We're talking Marywood University baseball here on the John Mendola Show at Arcaro and Genell. Jason Thiel is the head coach. He's with us right now. And, Jason, let's talk about your excitement for the 2018 season.
Yeah, we're going to get going. First of all, I appreciate you for having us on. We're excited to be here. We actually get started this Saturday, Mount St. Mary's. We're taking a road trip, so we're ready to roll. We have a bunch of young guys. We're hungry. So we have 33 guys in the roster right now. 25 of those are freshmen and sophomores. So it's a young, excited group, and we're getting ready to go. We're sick of being in that gym, and we're ready to play some baseball.
Pitching, so important. Just need a lot of depth there. And talk about how many pitchers you have, and then maybe you might find a couple along the way, just in case. You know, there's always injuries along the way. You hate to see that happen, but baseball, you know, you see some arms or knees or legs or some things go.
Sure, there is, and it never fails. Over the last couple of years, pitching's always been an issue. The weather's cold, it's rainy, you get games backed up, you're congested. 5 to 6 games in a week at times. So we put an emphasis on recruiting pitching. We have about 14 arms right now, about 6 or 7 POs, pitcher onlys, and then we have guys who are two-way guys. I think when we hit the recruiting trail, we really emphasize that if guys can play multiple positions, if they can pitch and they can play a position, then we don't limit them to doing one. So it's nice to have those arms as well to sort of lean in at times. Yeah, we'll use them all at some point during the year, that's for sure.
Let's talk about what you think some of the positives of this team is. Even though you're young, whether it's they're enthusiastic, they may not know any better. Sometimes when they're young, you get guys that they don't get as jaded in some of their things. So take us through some of those positives you've seen early on in the gym.
We've really gelled as a team. I think right off the bat, the guys really bought in. We really recruited guys that want to come in and be part of something, really start a culture here, change the culture. The guys have bought in day one. We have a really strong sophomore group, and we brought in about 19 new faces this year. So those sophomores really hosted a lot of those freshmen, and those freshmen sort of look up to those sophomores now. And a lot of the sophomores are leaders. So for us, it started last year with our sophomore group that were then freshmen, who really started to build the foundation, the family, and it's really turned into sort of what we have now: enthusiasm, show up every day, buying in, pulling for each other. We've had a lot of adversity, off the field stuff with some guys and families and things like that back home, and our guys have really bought in and really embraced that family atmosphere.
Ideally, where would you like to see that roster? 40-ish, a little over or so?
I would say about the 35 mark is sort of good for us. We recruit guys, give them an opportunity to come in and play every day. So when guys ask us, what's opportunities, same thing, we brought in 19 guys, we told them, listen, it's up to you, but there's an opportunity to play every day. Every year's a blank slate for us. So we want guys to come in and compete, and we talk about a healthy competition. We always say if you're not bringing energy, then you're draining it. So if you're not playing, we want guys involved. But yeah, I would say about the 35 mark. That gives guys, enough pitchers to carry through a year.
Let's talk a little bit about your baseball background and some guys that maybe left an impression on you that you're trying to, throw over to these guys here at Marywood.
Sure. I'm a Scranton High School graduate. A long time ago, 1996. Ended up going to Lackawanna College for 2 years. Then I transferred to Marywood University, where I finished my college career. Made great friends. The reason people always ask me, well, why'd you choose Marywood? The reason I do is because Joe Ross and Jerry Davis. And those are the two coaches that preceded me at Marywood. So it's pretty crazy to think there's been 3 coaches in school history, and I'm one of those. Because the 2 guys that I follow are 2 guys that I looked up to, 2 guys that were in my wedding. They were there for me. So 2 guys I still look as mentors now. I still reach out to guys whenever I need something. So that's sort of my background, where I come from, and I'm a Marywood grad. All 3 coaches are. Coach Davis, Coach Clifford, and Coach Diskin. We're all Marywood graduates, so we're passionate about the school. We want to see it succeed.
Well, Coach, great to hear your story, and I know you're, as you say, ready to go this weekend with the Pacers of Marywood University. Go get them.
We are. Thank you very much. Appreciate having me on.
Salvatore Monell joining us from Marywood University, the baseball program. He's a junior and a pitcher. And Salvatore, tell us a little bit about what kind of arm you have and what kind of arsenal you have there in your pitching.
So since I was a freshman, I've just been working on throwing a little harder and getting more pitches into my arsenal. Got my speed up a couple miles an hour, and I've been working on a slider on the off season. It's been pretty good in practice, so I'm eager to use it this spring.
guys have had a lot of gym time.
Oh, yeah.
You're dying to get outside.
Yeah.
As always. But let's talk about what you're liking right now about the Pacers.
What I'm like right now about the Pacers is really the team dynamic, and we all get along. Feels just like we go to practice, we're all family. We run the same amount. We're out of breath at the same times, and then we go eat after practices, and it just really feels like a family and a brotherhood. Definitely one of the best teams I've been a part of.
How about the opportunities for you at Marywood University, coming from Long Island? Talk a little bit about, you find yourself at Marywood, and what have you found out about yourself and about some of the people that you've met along the way?
I found out a lot about myself, actually. I mean, nothing's given to you. You got to work hard for everything that you want, and you really can't step off the gas at any time. And if you got a goal, then you just got to keep going at it. And I mean, it was a rough transition going from home and living on your own, but it was good. I had a couple of baseball guys help me out. The coaches are great too, and they really made the transition better for me.
Got a sister, Marina?
Yes.
Tell us about her.
She's 22 years old. She just graduated from Long Island University post-campus, and she just got a full-time job too, so I'm really proud of her.
You're doing well in the classroom, 3.6 into technology. Let's talk about life after college. What do you hope to do with all this?
Life after college, I'm looking at a couple law schools back on Long Island, and want to go into copyright and patent law, I think.
All right, sounds pretty cool. Pretty interesting focus. Not many people into that part of law, but your dad and grandpa, a couple of role models. Talk about some stories or some different things that you learned from those fellas.
My dad has just been my role model since I was little. He's always taught me how to be hungry for anything that I ever went after. And same thing with my grandpas on both sides. One came over from Italy, one was born here when he was young. And they just really worked hard. None of them really went to school. They just kind of taught me the work ethic, and it's carried with me for a while, and I appreciate all they've done.
How about a couple of those guys getting out to games? How much family is there when you're on the road or possibly at home?
We were just talking with Coach Thiel about how I'm going to have basically 15 people down in Florida this spring. My whole family comes down, they make t-shirts, it's an awesome environment, and it's pretty funny. They're characters. That's
awesome to hear. So a big crowd following you, and obviously they'd love to see you over on the mound. Let's talk about some offensive firepower this year. What have you seen? It's hard to tell in the gym, but give me a guy or two you think that might have a nice breakout year offensively.
Offensively, we got a lot of guys. We got a lot of young guys, a lot of guys that could swing it. I mean, our first baseman, Jake, over there, he could swing it. Trevor's hungry at the plate, and we got some real good outfielders that could swing it too. So I'm looking forward to for them producing for me, and I'm going to produce for them.
Well, Salvatore, nice to hear your story, and have a fantastic season.
Thank you.
Trevor Powers joining us from Marywood University Pacers. And Trevor, talk about where you come from and what baseball was like back home.
I come from Delaware, so it's a decent distance from here. Completely different region, but baseball is really good down there. It's a small state. Everybody knows everybody. All the top ball players that go on to play college, we still stay in contact. Everybody, it's competitive. It's overlooked because it's a small state, all that kind of stuff. But it's great baseball, and it really helped mold me into the baseball player that I am today.
You can probably get a couple more games in than here in Pennsylvania with the weather in Delaware gets maybe a hair better. Let's talk a little bit about the positions that you're going to be playing this year.
Well, primarily I'm an outfielder. That's first and foremost. It's what I came for. But also on the side, I do a little bit of pitching and relief when the team needs me. Come in, throw some strikes, and get outs. At the end of the day, it's a job.
You got a older brother, Brendan. Tell us a little bit about him.
My older brother, he's somebody I've looked up to my whole life. He's really pushed me to always work hard, always become a better baseball player, take every day as a day to get better. We played hockey together in high school throughout our whole lives, and we have a good relationship. We've always been close, and he's just somebody that has always pushed me to be a better ball player.
You're into the fitness part of things. Let's talk about personal training and what you'd like to do in the future.
Well, I'd like to just get into personal training right after college, and hopefully eventually open my own gym and train athletes, specifically obviously baseball players, but athletes from all different kinds of sports would be something I'd love to do in the future. possible opportunity for me.
Let's talk about some role models in your life, and it all starts with the folks.
Yeah, my parents, they've really put me in a good position to succeed at every part through life. They give me great role models to look up to. My dad, being an Army background, he really pushed me sometimes I didn't see the benefits of why he was so hard on me and that kind of stuff, but I know it pays off, and it's, one of the reasons I am how I am today, and I couldn't thank them enough. And my mom, she just really teaches me to take pride in everything I do. All my work ethic, that kind of stuff's more important than anything, and they really just give me they're just great role models for me and somebody to look up to every day.
Dad's okay with that big hair you got working, huh?
It's not his preference, but I'm at the age now where I make the decision.
All right, we like to think we still do, right?
Yep.
Oh man, that's a good story. How about the folks maybe checking you out and playing? They get opportunities to come see you?
Yeah, and they make a trip up every time they can. Obviously weekday games, and they try to get up here, but they can't. Both work full time. But on weekends, they make the trip up. It's nice playing Immaculata, Newman, those teams, because it's Philly area teams. They get the opportunities to be there for the doubleheaders, that kind of stuff. But they're really committed to getting up here as much as possible. My dad was traveling at the end of the season last year, and he was trying to come up before he left all the time, and I had to tell him, like, it's not worth, one weekday game when it's raining and the weather's not great, it's not worth it to make the 3-hour trip. And he just wants to be there. They just love the fact that I'm playing baseball, and they want to make the most of every opportunity to see me play.
Well, Trevor, great to catch up with you, hear your story, and have some success out there on the field.
I appreciate it.
Jake Schuster with us from Marywood University. We're talking baseball, and Jake, let's talk a little bit about the hometown, where you're from, and what baseball is like back there.
From Lansdale, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia. I went to North Bend High School, and it's a pretty good area for high school. The league that I played in was a pretty good league. Guys playing Division I baseball, both on my team and also who were playing in the league.
Let's talk about your position, playing in the infield at first base.
Yeah, it's actually a break, because last year I was at catcher and I got 2 bad knees, so it's good to move out from there over to first base.
Overall, what just made you decide on Marywood?
I like the school. I like where it was. The academics are good here, and it just seemed like the right fit.
Couple siblings that tell us a little bit about Amelia and Eva.
Yeah, Amelia works as a waitress. She's a senior in high school, looking to go to college next year, either at Westchester or Millersville. And Eva's in 6th grade, and she does a lot of dance. 3.6
grade point average, so you're doing well there. And you sure about what you're going to do once college life's over?
I would love to be like an athletic trainer somewhere, probably like a Division I football school. That's like my dream goal, but I'm really anywhere where there's a job.
Let's talk about the folks.
They're the biggest role models to me. My dad, I grew up, he was my coach for like 8-ish years, and my mom, after she had Eva, was a stay-at-home mom. So just to see different just characteristics from them really helped me out.
Playing Keystone College, talk about what that's like.
It's a tough matchup. They're a good team, but I think this year we'll be able to hang with them, be competitive with them, and play a good ball game.
What do you like about your roster, up and down? What are some positives that you've seen?
What I like is we have a lot of depth in our roster, unlike last year where we had a limited number of pitchers, but this year we got a lot of pitchers. We got guys that can throw. We got more outfield depth this year.
How about heading home sometimes on the turnpike, taking that trip down, what that's like, not too far, and maybe the folks able to get to see you vice versa?
Yeah, because when we go down to like the Philly schools like Gwynedd, because Gwynned's only like 10 minutes away from my house, Gwynedd, IMAC, Newman, Karen, they get to come over and see, but really when we play up here, it's just my dad who comes up.
Well, Jake, we'll have a great season. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Joey Castellani joining us from the Marywood University team, and we're talking baseball, of course. Joey, let's talk a little bit about your position this year.
I'm going to be a PO, pitcher only, so I'm excited. A lot of work still, so I'm expecting to do good.
Let's talk about being able to just concentrate on pitching, as far as what you're going to bring to the table, and how much you've worked at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all specialized now, so like I get to work on everything from like little stuff to just overall. It's a lot more fine-tuned, if you will. So I'm excited.
Let's talk about your other pitchers this year. Take us through some arms that you think will be pretty effective.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot. We're deep this year. So Sal, he's throwing well. PJ, he came in from Lackawanna. He looks real good. All the freshmen look good. I can't tell you anyone who doesn't. So.
Couple older siblings. Tell us about each of them.
Yeah, Tony and Vinny. They're like my role models. They strive. They push me to do like everything that I do. It's not a competition, but it's a competition between us, and they push me.
How about getting some family out to some games? How often does that happen?
Yeah, they should be there all the time. I'm local, so they should be there.
Science guy.
Yeah.
Talk about doing well, 3.9, and what you want to do down the road here.
Yeah, I want to become a physician's assistant. So the school's great. They have a great program, so I enjoy it. It's interesting.
Let's talk about a role model in your life that you've looked up to for some time.
Roy Halladay, definitely. I mean, watching him on the Phillies, watching him before that, he pushes himself. It's terrible what happened to him, but he was the guy.
As far as working on your pitching and doing little things, other than your coaches at Marywood, have you have some other people try to help develop you over time?
Yeah, absolutely. My dad's the main guy. He taught me how to pitch, basically. So my dad, family, friends, to be honest, everyone that I could.
What are some games you're looking forward to this year?
Keystone, always. They've been local, so like I've seen their successes, so I want to get out there and face them myself.
All right, Joey, we wish you the best this year for the Pacers of Marywood University, and good luck on the mound.
Thank you.